number 98 overall by MLB.com. So here is Daniel Norris in his Double-A debut. Alan Hansen, the shortstop, is into the batter's box, and we're underway tonight at Northeast Delta Dental Stadium with a 92-mile-per-hour fastball that misses wide. The plate, Doug Del Bello. Jorge Teran, the umpire at third. The crew chief is Chris Tipton at first. A few clouds overhead, but otherwise a beautiful night. And this one just missed wide. I tell you what, I watched a whole bunch of games here over the last week, and that outside corner was called a strike almost night in and night out. And Norris at 2-0 delivers a letter-high fastball, and that one is a strike, so it's 2-1. Alan Hansen is at 273, 6 homers, 36 ribbies. And Norris comes fastball low, 3 balls and a strike. That was 93. The battery mate is Derek Chung. They know each other from Dunedin, where they were both Florida State League All-Stars. Behind in the count, Hansen lifts one out to center, but a good jump for Kenny Wilson, and he'll snag that liner for out number 1. Left fielder Drew Maggi is next, 281, a homer, 12 ribbies. Maggi came on as a pinch runner in the 9th inning last night, scored Altoona's 4th run in a 4-2 curve win, the first time this year that Altoona defeated the Fisher Cats. New Hampshire won all 3 games that the teams played out in western Pennsylvania earlier this year. Maggi, 281, a homer, 12 ribbies. And Norris hits with a fastball, good command for strike 1. 18 walks, 76 strikeouts in his 13 starts for Advanced A Dunedin, a 6-0 record, a 1.22 ERA. Home of the fastball, fouled right side. Out of play, advantage to the pitcher, and it's 0-2. Maggi, a right-hand hitter. Let's see, through this order, Hansen, who he just faced, a switch hitter but batting right. There will be one left-hand bat for Daniel Norris. 8 of the 9 will be righties. Now an 0-2 home, went off speed. Well, I thought he went off speed. It showed 93 on the gun. That's how effortless that motion was, and it's a ball and 2 strikes as he misses upstairs. Dunedin won every one of his starts except one this year. Grounder foul at third. Manager of the Altoona curve is Carlos Garcia, and he fields that one, and we'll throw it back into the crowd. Casey Hobson at first, John Birdie at second, Jorge Flores at short, Andy Burns at third. Michael Krause in left, Kenny Wilson in center, and it's Jonathan Jones in right. The 1-2 pitch, foul back. Out of play. Just underway tonight, New Hampshire and Altoona. Series wraps up with Atlas Fireworks following our 7:05 game. Tomorrow will be the final meeting of the year with the Altoona Curve. Pirates Double-A, they're in last place in the Western Division, 26-41. Fisher Cats last place in the East, 28-41. Norris blew a fastball by Maggi for strikeout number 1. 94 with some zip up and away. Maggi can't get it. And that's a 5 guys, burgers, and fries strikeout. And with 2 down, center fielder Keon Broxton will hit at 269, 4 homers, 15 runs batted in. If you're ready for a new ride, go to autofair.com and view thousands of vehicles. Schedule a test drive and apply for credit. The perfect ride at the perfect price is just a click away at autofair.com. Broxton looks at one up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Some fans still making their way into the ballpark tonight. Good crowd and the Poultry Products dinner in the den up above the left field wall. Norris, a fastball for a strike, and that evens the count up at 1-1. Altoona starting a road trip that will also take them to Portland and New Britain before they go back home. We're going on the road again for a week starting Friday, and Norris gets a swing and a miss. And that one off the plate curveball, and it's 1-2. Always like to, with the young pitchers, with Norris, watch how that changeup develops and see how that plays off of a fastball, which is very solid. And a 1-2 is another off-speed pitch, grounded to third, Burns to first, and that's it. It's a 1-2-3, top of the first inning in the Double-A debut for 21-year-old. Last night, trying to square things up with Altoona, and there's ball one. Second inning, give you our flight to the majors, brought to you by Manchester Boston Regional Airport, New Hampshire's hassle-free hometown airport. And this one's flied out towards right center, pretty deep. And the ball's going to clear the fence. Home run. Elias Diaz, Jonathan Jones, and Kenny Wilson came together deep there in right center. And they both look up last minute as the ball sneaks out of here. Elias Diaz is in his fourth home run. And that's off Daniel Norris, leading off the second inning to make it 1-0 Altoona. Curve hit a couple of homers last night, solo shots. And Norris tagged for a long ball here, and Stetson Ali will be next. 221, 11 homers, and 30 runs batted in. If you can believe it, that's the first home run allowed by Daniel Norris in 2014. He had worked 67 1/3 innings without allowing a home run. And it's ball one here to Ali, and then a swing and a miss. And that evens the count up at 1-1. Didn't get out of here by much, but it was a respectable part of the ballpark. It's 306 down the right field line here, but it angles out to a good 350, 360 in right center. A 1-1 pitch. There's a strike. And so Norris is ahead, a ball and 2 strikes after the leadoff home run by Diaz. Blue Jays are at the Yankees tonight. Mark Burley 10-3 against 2-0 Chase Whitley. And the ball in the dirt. So it'll be 2-2. Whitley's a Yankee homegrown product. He was with Trenton out of the bullpen in 2011 and 2012. They've made him a starter, and he's been terrific. Jays will try to even the series after losing last night. 2-2. This one's skied to left. Krause started back now coming on, and he'll make a one-handed catch. And Ali is retired. And will bring us to designated hitter Justin Howard. 245, a homer, 5 ribbies. He was 2 for 4 last night. 84 was the game time temperature here tonight in Manchester. Not much wind to speak of. Lefty batter, and this is the only lefty that Norris is scheduled to face. And he misses up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. And another one hit out to the outfield. Chase Kenny Wilson back a few strides. And he's got it, 2 down. And Garcia coming up. Mid-90s fastball for the lefty Norris. One of the scouting reports I saw said a good spin on his curveball. It's really a nice effortless motion for Norris. Big trunk uses the legs to help power that fastball along. Changeup developing. And it's high for ball 1. It's 1-0. Blue Jays have moved the top prospect Aaron Sanchez to AAA and turned. Now Daniel Norris is promoted on from the Dunedin Blue Jays after clinching a playoff berth in the first half of the Florida State League season. Buffalo tonight, Game 3 with Columbus after a 6-2 loss last night. This one is high. And Norris misses again, so he's 3-0 on Willie Garcia. He's 229, 8 homers, 29 runs batted in. Dunedin lost 10-5 at Brevard County. Taylor Cole on the mound tonight for the DJs. And taking all the way, hits with the fastball for a strike. Lansing is at the Midwest League All-Star break. They played the All-Star game last night, West 7, East nothing. And a strike, so it's 3-2. Vancouver has completed its first season of the year. They won 3 of 5 with Salem Kaiser in the home opener for the Canadians is tonight against Spokane. And on a 3-2 pitch, he comes back to strike out Willie Garcia swinging up and away at 92, and that's the second. So I figured I'd just enter the other ones.
Coming back in 10.
Stonebridge Country Club wants to host your next fundraising golf tournament. Stonebridge has experts from PGA Golf Pros to event coordinators. Have your golf tournament at one of the top 10 courses in New Hampshire. It's Stonebridge Country Club at golfstonebridgecc.com. I've had one base runner in the game, and he ran all the way around. Elias Diaz of Altoona led off the second with his fourth home run, and that's been it. 1-0 Altoona, and here's Jarrett Cunningham, the third baseman, 250, 3-16 on the season for the Curve, and fouls it back for a strike. In the Eastern League, the front runners are Portland and Akron. Sea Dogs come into play today. They've been in first place most of the season here in the Eastern League. As the pitch misses up and away, it's a ball and a strike. And we'll see Portland again on the next road trip. This one down for a ball. Fisher Cats will play 3 in Trenton and then go to Maine and play 3 more before coming back home. We'll be home next again on June 26th to open up a series 5 games with the Rock Cats in 4 days. There's a swing and a miss, so it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Portland and Erie have already played today. And the Sea Dogs and Sea Wolves split. There's a swing and a miss. Portland, that's a Five Guys Burgers and Fries strikeout for Jarrett Cunningham. His third, he is out. And Daniel Norris has his third strikeout to start the third inning. That'll bring up the second baseman, Gifton Gope, who homered here last night. 236, 4 homers, 25 ribbies. Completion of the suspended game from yesterday, Erie 8, Portland 6. And then in the regular scheduled game, the Sea Dogs win by a score of 5-1, 7-inning game. So Portland 45-25, and they have a 6-game lead over Binghamton. There's a swing and a miss here for Ngope at a 92-mile-per-hour fastball. Speaking of fast start for the Mets tonight. They get 5 in the second and lead Richmond 5-0. Binghamton starts play 39-31, 6 back of the Sea Dogs. High for a ball, and it is 1-1. New Britain moved into third place over the weekend. The Rockcats beat Harrisburg in last night's series opener, and they won again today. Pop foul, down 4-2 going to the 8th. The Rockcats scored 1 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th, and beat the Senators 5-4. And New Britain's hot streak continues. We had day baseball in 2 locations in the Eastern League today. It was a busy day of baseball in the majors already. The Red Sox have won the 1-2 curveball and couldn't bring it over the outside corner. From my angle, that pitch looked terrific. And Chung looked like he held it right there for Doug Del Bello. Maybe it was a little high. So now we're 2-2, and Norris delivers in a liner to right at Jones. Coming hard, he makes the catch knee high, and that's out number 2. And we're back to the top of the order in Alan Hansen. Reading is in 4th place in the Eastern Division, 10.5 out. They trail Akron tonight 2-0 in the second inning. Akron 41-30, leading Richmond by a half game in the West. They've gone back and forth. Bowie is at Trenton tonight. Trenton in 5th place, ahead of the Fisher Cats 34-38. They've not played well of late. There's a strike to Alan Hansen. Top of the 3rd in New Hampshire, and it's 1-0 Curve. Altoona Red Tops over Gray Pants, and it's In for a ball, 1-1. With New Britain's win today, that's 7 in a row for Jeff Smith's Rockcats. They were in 5th most of the season, and they've taken a couple of steps up the ladder here with their hot streak, and it's 2-1. They just swept Trenton, and now they'll be going for a sweep of Harrisburg tomorrow. Norris, little flare to second. Actually, it's going to be the first baseman, Hobson, who's going to be in front of Birdie to catch it. Not hard hit. And there's some Gothier.
Thank you very much, Bob. Daniel Norris with 3 strikeouts through 3 innings, but he's also given up his first home run since August of last season. Had not had one, did not allow a home run in 13 games in Dunedin. First pitch of the 4th inning is popped up in the shallow center field. The second baseman, John Birdie, is out there, and Birdie will put it away to retire Drew Maggi on 1 pitch here in the 4th inning. Good start to the 4th for Daniel Norris. And 1 away, Broxton and Diaz to follow. 2-3-4 for the Curve in the 4th inning. Altoona leading it 1-0 on the home run by Diaz back in the 2nd. Daniel Norris had been a machine down in Dunedin. He'd only gone 6 innings in 3 of those 13 starts. The pitch count climbing a little bit in some of those other outings, including a game where he struck out 10 and walked 3 over 4 2/3 innings. 10 out of the 14 outs via strikeout that night against Tampa back on May 5th. Strike 1 delivered on the outside corner to Keon Broxton. Glad you're joining us tonight for Game 2 of the series as Broxton swings and misses at a changeup, and it's an 0-2 count. Keon grounded to third to end the 1st inning.
See a note online, the Blue Jays have signed 3rd-round draft pick lefty Nick Wells, a pitcher from Battlefield High School in Virginia. Bonus $661,800.
Sounds like it's right about slot bonus money, I guess. Ball in the dirt, gets by the catcher Chung. Chung is new to catching. First full-time season behind the plate was last year, and he was an all-star in the Florida State League this season. And they only had him catch last year in spring training. They needed more catchers. He was able to do it, and that's how it started. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. 94 miles an hour on the fastball. 3rd strikeout on a fastball tonight for Norris. He's got 4 overall, and 2 down in the inning for Elias Diaz. And that's just pure gas right there. Nice job mixing it up for Norris, who, Bob, I don't know if you saw it in the notes, but there was a story in the Toronto Sun. Actually, the National Post. There was a story back in, it was back in March. He drives a 1978 Volkswagen Westphalia minibus. And that is one of those hippie Volkswagen vans. I'm sure you know all about those. I do. Bought it brand new, or he bought it new to him when he got his signing bonus of $2 million back in 2011. Ball 1 delivered downstairs, and that's how he travels the country. That's how he gets to spring training. And I imagine at some point we'll see that thing up here in New Hampshire. 1-0 to Diaz is outside. Couple of soft ones away to Diaz, who homered to right center in his first at-bat. Curve lead at 1-0 over the Fisher Cats tonight in the top of the 4th inning.
And that Volkswagen has a nickname, right?
It is. It's called Shaggy, and it's based off of Scooby-Doo. You know what I learned this weekend? You know who the voice of Shaggy was?
It was Casey Kasem.
Casey Kasem. How about that? I never knew that. And then they were doing this story because he passed away over the weekend, and I saw the story where they showed his voice in the clip, and I said, well, obviously that's Casey Kasem. It was a no-doubter. There's ball 4 outside to Diaz. It's the first walk allowed by Norris. Really cut down in the walks this season compared to last season. He had walked 46 a year ago in just 90 innings. This year, that's just his 19th walk in about 70 frames. He changed his wind-up a little bit, changed the mechanics to make things a little simpler, a little more repeatable, and to smooth things out from when he signed out of high school. Took him a little while to make that a muscle memory, but eventually it took hold, and then last year, walks climbed, but they've been cut back again this season. Stetson Alley will follow, takes ball 1 downstairs. Curve 1, Fisher Cats nothing, top 4 in New Hampshire tonight. Alley fly to left field his first time up. Alley was a big bonus baby, much like Norris. Didn't quite get $2 million, but he was in 7 figures by the Pirates a few years ago. The 1-0 is swung on and hit in the air to right field. Drifting back is Jones. It was down near the end of the bat, but it's still going to carry, and it's out of here to right. Stetson Alley showcases some of that big-time power that he has. Hit that ball down near the end of the bat, low and away, and it just carries over the right field wall. It's a 2-run shot. Alley has another home run, and the Curve have a 3-0 lead. I was just about to say that Alley was a pitcher, transitioned over to a hitter because his pitching was very dreadful in the 2011 season, could not throw strikes, and he just smacked his 12th home run at the Double-A level on a fly ball to right field. That's a routine out in most ballparks in this league. That was a Northeast Delta Dental special right there for Alley, who picks up RBIs number 31 and 32. Strike one delivered to Justin Howard. It's a 2-out shot and a 3-0 Curve lead in the fourth tonight. The 0-1 from the lefty, taken high, boxed around by Chung in the glove, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's been a little bit of something. Here's a 2-out walk on a close pitch. Diaz works it out, and then Alley homers.
2-out walks every time, Bob. A few more gray hairs for Jim Zykowski in that Fisher Cats dugout.
Yeah, where in the case of Sunday's game, it was a 2-out error right before the home run. 3-0 Curve in front.
And, of course, right after the error, Copeland fell behind 2-0, which didn't help his cause on the home run on Sunday.
Yeah.
1-2 the count to the left-handed hitting Howard. Fly to center in his only at-bat of the game. And he calls time before Norris can kick for the 1-2 pitch.
Matches the most runs allowed in a game by Norris this year, 3.
1-2 from the lefty, a breaking ball down and away. It's the first time in his career he's given up 2 home runs in a game. He'd only allowed 10 home runs coming in, and they had all come in single bunches. 1 home run in 10 different contests. A 2-2 fastball called third strike. Zipped it over the outside corner, and Howard caught looking for the final out of the inning. But the Curves.
This is Fisher Cats Baseball on News Radio 610 WGIR Manchester, Fox Sports 930 WPKX Rochester, and AM 1494.3 FM WTSL Hanover.
Alongside Bob Littman, I'm Tom Gauthier. Tonight, Debbie Hayes manning the controls back at our WGIR studios. Fisher Cats in the Curve heading to the 5th inning tonight. Middle game of the 3-game series, so we're right at the middle point of this 3-game set, barring any extra innings, which against this team, certainly no guarantee. We played 2 12-inning games when we were in Altoona back in the end of May, beginning of June. We've scored 5 combined runs tonight. That's the most we've scored between the two teams. Outside of last night, 6. Neither team scored more than 4. And we had no more than 4 combined runs in any game in Altoona. Ball 1 began the inning to the right-handed Willie Garcia. The next pitch is crushed, driven to deep center field. Kenny Wilson on the run. It's over his head and high off the center field wall. Garcia heading to second, and he'll stop there with a double. A hard wall ball double by Garcia, number 13 in the season for him. And he's in a scoring position right away here in the 5th inning. That was a ball up and in over the heart of the plate, and Garcia drives it to center field. Boy, you see Willie Garcia, you see Keon Broxton. Now, Broxton's not a draft pick of the Pirates, but he certainly fits into that mold of Andrew McCutchen, Gregory Polanco, Starling Marte, these long, athletic outfielders that have speed, that can hit a little bit, they have good arms. He fits right in with guys like Garcia as well. Strike 1 delivered to Jarek Cunningham on the inside corner. Cunningham struck out, one of the 5 strikeouts, 5 guys tonight for the left-handed Daniel Norris. Look back to second, the 0-1 coming home, and a fastball taken inside. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. This is the first at-bat for either team tonight with a man in scoring position. Norris stands dead center of the rubber when he's out of the stretch. The 1-1 is swung on and popped up into right field. It'll carry back fairly deep in right, but Jonathan Jones has a play on it. Makes the catch in the warning track. Garcia will tag at second. He'll go to third. On a fly to right field, Cunningham is retired, and Garcia moves over to third base with 1 out in the inning for Gift Ngope. Another ball that looked like a routine play off the bat, and it carried Jonathan Jones all the way to the warning track in right center field. The wind was blowing in today from left, much like our April and May winds do, and it was blowing probably 20 to 30 miles an hour consistently. But it was a nice warm breeze today with the weather in the 80s. Tonight it's died down, but it's still gently rippling that flag in left center field. First pitch to Ngope's, taken on the inside corner, strike 1. Fisher Cats not too concerned about that runner at third. They're playing back with 1 out here in the 5th inning. Although Burns is even with the grass, more of a normal positioning for the Fisher Cats, not drawn in. The 0-1 by Norris is swung on and foul tipped into the mitt. No balls and 2 strikes to Gift Ngope, who fly to right field tonight. Curve 3, Fisher Cats 2, but Altoona has a runner at third base. And as I say, they'll keep the defense where it is. With 2 strikes, they'll bring the defense in. Everybody on the grass on the infield, the outfield shaded to right. 0-2 by Norris, a fastball taken high. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and Ngope wouldn't chase. Norris was 5th in the Florida State League with 76 strikeouts while he was with Dunedin. His teammate Taylor Cole leading the league with 95. And Cole pitching tonight for Dunedin, although not effectively. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's down and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A hard breaking ball. That's a slider by Norris. Also has a curveball, a changeup, and a 2-seam fastball to go along with the 4-seam high and rider. And then that 2-seam fastball as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Gift Ngope, a right-handed hitter, batting 9th tonight. Pitch on the way, and the 2-2 taken just above the belt. Chung held it there for an extra moment, but no call by the plate umpire. Doug Del Bello. Chris Tipton will call balls and strikes in the finale tomorrow night at 7:05. Three-two curve leading it. The payoff pitch coming from Norris, swung on and missed, strike 3. Number 6 for Norris tonight. He climbed the ladder with a fastball, and this time Ngope couldn't lay off of it. 6 strikeouts now, all brought to you by Five Guys Burgers and Fries for Daniel Norris. Five Guys Burgers and Fries, makers of fresh burgers and fries and hot dogs every single day. Open 7 days a week with 10 New Hampshire locations, including Manchester, Derry, Seabrook, and coming this summer, Concord. Visit fiveguys.com. 2 down now. The infield will back up as we go back to the top of the order for Alan Hansen, who's 0 for 2 tonight. First pitch by Norris is fouled back out of play. Strike 1. Hansen hasn't done much against the Fisher Cats. 3 for 21 in the 5 games the teams have played, including an 0 for 2 tonight. Curve as a club hitting just 240, or hitting 192 against New Hampshire. Fisher Cats hitting a robust 248 against the curve. Not a whole lot better. That'd be middle of the pack in the Eastern League overall. As it stands, Fisher Cats are last in the league in hitting. Altoona's just ahead of them in 11th place. 0-1 the count to Hansen, hitting 271 right now. Pitch on the way, swings and misses at a breaking ball, but it kicks away from Chung, and that's going to score the runner from third. It'll be a wild pitch on that hard slider by Norris. Chung couldn't handle it, and Garcia scores from third. It's a 4-2 curve lead on the wild pitch by Norris. He was leading the Florida State League with 11 wild pitches. That's his 12th of the year. That was just a hard breaking ball. Had a lot of movement on it. And Chung just couldn't handle it. Tough pitch to handle. No indictment against Chung by any means. So now an 0-2, and there's a swing and a miss That'll be strike 3. Chung blocked that one. He has to pick it up and throw to first to retire Hansen. And that'll set down the side. 7 strikeout for Daniel Norris tonight. But another run across the board in the wild pitch by the Curve. They lead it 4-2 at the midway point of the game and at the midway point of the series on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network.
Yeah.
What did I see? 11 wild. Great amenities make Boulder Park the best choice for apartment living. Conveniently located just off Route 3 at Exit 8, Boulder Park for an apartment you'll love to call home. Fisher Cats will get the bullpen busy this inning. And it will be Eric Sekula who starts to throw first. Dustin Antolin's down there with a glove on as well. Daniel Norris pitching into the 6th in his first Double-A start. Throws a strike in the outside corner to Drew Maggi to start things off in the 6th inning. Quick inning made by Norris, a full frame. He's at 74 pitches right now. 0-1 from the lefty, comes back with a changeup, and it's fouled in the batter's box. 0-2 the count to Maggi. 7 strikeouts for Norris today. His career high and his season high, 10, back on May 5th. He's hit 10 strikeouts twice in his professional career. He was committed to Clemson before signing with the Blue Jays right at the deadline in 2011. Time called before the 0-2 pitch. Norris, a native of Johnson City, Tennessee. Here's the 0-2 from the lefty. A fastball line back through the middle of base hit. Out of the reach of John Birdie into center field. Maggi has his first hit of the night. And the Curve have a leadoff man on here in the 6th. That's the 3rd time now in 6 innings the Curve have had the leadoff guy on. Diaz homered in the 2nd. Garcia doubled and scored in the 5th, scoring on a wild pitch. Curve 4, Fisher Cats 2, as Keon Broxton digs in 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and a groundout. This is Norris's first Double-A start, but not his first start this season against a Pirates affiliate. Bradenton in the Florida State League is a Pirates affiliate, and he tossed a career-high 6 2/3 against them on May 16th. Only allowed 1 run, although he took a no decision in that game, a 3-2 Dunedin win. 6 2/3, 1 run, 6 strikeouts, only 4 hits and a walk allowed in that game. Tonight he's allowed 4 runs on 4 hits, including a pair of home runs. 3 out of the 4 hits have gone for extra bases tonight. First pitch to Broxton, late swing at a fastball, strike 1. Sekula continues to throw in the Fisher Cats bullpen. Nobody out, leadoff single by Drew Maggi has him at first base. Broxton had as many as 19 triples in his minor league career a few years back with South Bend in the Midwest League. The 0-1 taken a little bit high. That was back when he was with the Diamondback system in one of his early pro seasons. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Broxton had a 9-game hitting streak back in the beginning of May. Norris out of the stretch. He'll throw to first base. Norris wears the pant legs up around the kneecaps. And the story that we saw about the shaggy bus that he has, the microbus, the old Volkswagen, Norris says, I always grew up a little bit differently. And well, right now he stands out because no other Fisher Cat has the pant legs pulled up that high. A step-off throw to first, chasing Maggi back once again. Maggi does have a dozen steals, but not a very selective runner. He's been caught 10 times. One ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Top of the 6th inning for Norris. Runner at first goes, and a ball hit off the handle of the bat by Broxton. scattered a few Fisher Cats in the dugout. Went right up against the railing and then ricocheted onto the field. Jack Murphy had to jump out of the way of that one. And Jack throwing up his hands at the on-deck circle. Not sure if he knows Keon Broxton or if he was gesturing maybe to Derek Chung, but whatever it was, Murphy had his heart race a little faster after that line drive went right at him. He was standing behind the net, would have never got hit, but still a little startling for Jack. So now it's 1-2 to Broxton. Every time I see Broxton and a guy like Garcia, I think of the old Johnny Cash song, the long leg guitar picking man. These guys have all long legs. Runner at first goes again. 1-2 swung on and missed. Throw down by Chung is in the dirt and late. It's a strikeout, but a stolen base for Maggi, number 13 for him. 8th strikeout for Norris, and now 1 out with a man at second base for Elias Diaz. I believe it was a breaking ball by Norris. His 8th strikeout. Maggi with the 13th steal. First runner that's attempted to steal against Chung in 15 innings in Double-A. A success for Maggi. And it will bring up Diaz, who's had a perfect night tonight. A home run, a walk, and he scored twice. First pitch on the way from Norris, taken above the belt, ball 1. Diaz spent the majority of the season last year down in Bradenton. Better hitting catcher than defensively. Finished the year strong last year, a .386 average in August. 1-0 the count to Diaz, as Norris taking his time to get on the same page with Chung. Look back to second. Here's the 1-0 by Norris, and it's taken on the outside corner, an off-speed pitch for strike 1. The manager, Carlos Garcia. He does not coach third base for this club. Instead, they have their coach, Miles Durham, at third. Durham, a former Curve player, as is their hitting coach. 1-1, swung on and missed. Big swing by Diaz at a fastball up and in, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Ryan Long and Miles Durham, both former Curve players, now in the dugout on the other side. Curve 4, Fisher Cats 2. Top of the 6th inning tonight. Stetson Alley's on deck. He has a home run to right field. A look to second. The 1-2 coming home. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 9th strikeout now for Daniel Norris. We'll see if he gets one more batter. The pitch count climbing up towards 85 right now. I'd imagine he'd get one more, maybe 2 with the lefty Howard on deck. 2 outs in the inning. That runner still at second base, and 9 strikeouts now for Daniel Norris.
So that's 1 away from the most by a Fisher Cat pitcher this year. P.J. Walters had 10 at Altoona May 31st.
Do we know the record for a Fisher Cat in his Eastern League or Double-A debut? I guess it would be P.J. Walters, if nobody else. First pitch to Stetson Alley is taken high, ball 1.
Jays have gone ahead of the Yankees tonight in New York. It's 2-1, 2 runs top of the 4th inning on RBI singles by Deandre Navarro and Colby Rasmus. Welcome back to the Blue Jay order.
Santa's Village in Jefferson, celebrating over 60 years as Santa's summer home and making memories for families like yours. Santa's Village open every weekend, open every day, in fact, at santasvillage.com. Jim Sykowski, the pitching coach, heading out to the mound. Derek Chung had gone out there for a brief meeting, and now Sykowski's going to go out there and have his own conversation with Norris. And I imagine part of this is buying time for Sekula, but as I say that, Sekula's not throwing.
He may be ready already. It's a warm night. No issues there. They had a rain delay earlier tonight in Columbus, where AAA Buffalo trails the Clippers 3-0 in the third. Esmil Rogers on the mound tonight for Buffalo as they play. And the Dunedin Blue Jays, they haven't started the second half of the season like they started the first half.
Getting blown out down in Florida. They were down 5-0 earlier, and looks like it's still the same score.
Still 5-0, bottom of the 7th. It was Dalton Pompey broke up the no-hitter.
Last night they gave up 10 runs in a loss as well.
Spokane will be at Vancouver tonight, home opener for the 3-time defending Northwest League champs.
Well, Zach is done in the mound, so now Norris will get Alley. 1-0 the count. Next pitch coming in, it's high and tight, and it brushed Alley off the plate. Alley gave a quick look at the mound as he made sure all the pieces were still together. He checked everything, made sure he was still in order. 2-0 the count from Norris to Alley, who homered just over the right field wall back in the 4th inning. Andy Burns answered with a home run of his own in the bottom of that frame, but Altoona added a run in the 4th, and that's where we stand. 4-2 Curve lead it. 2-0 to Alley, taking high, 3-0. And this may be an inning where they just try to get him to chase something up in the zone. If you're going to be up, though, make sure you get it way up. Sort of an intentional, unintentional walk. First base is open with the lefty Howard on deck. 3-0 coming home, and that's up and in, and that one hit Alley. And Daniel Norris just plunked his first batter in Double-A. They were working up and in that whole sequence. And as we thought he'd get the lefty, he will not. Bobby Meacham is out. Bobby's going to come out there and bring on Eric Sekula to face the lefty Justin Howard. Norris's night is done. He goes 5 2/3. He strikes out 9, and he leaves with runners at first and second base. We'll take a timeout, a pitching change, a Small World Wireless call to the bullpen on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network.